Hi everyone, I'm Matthew Moniz, and this is the Huawei MateBook, Huawei's first ever Windows device. It's a 2-in-1 productivity-focused tablet or laptop that's aimed to compete against products like the Microsoft Surface Pro. Now, I've been using the MateBook for over a month, and it has some really good things going for it, but there are a couple of things that have me concerned. So here's my review. The Huawei MateBook is probably the sleekest 2-in-1 tablet I've reviewed this year. It's all metal with chamfered edges and weighs less than the larger iPad Pro. It also happens to be the same thickness at 6.9 millimeters. It's quite evident that Huawei gets a lot of its design inspiration from Apple, as the look is quite reminiscent to the iPad. Now, I'm okay with that because the iPad is a great looking tablet. In terms of ports, you're not getting much. On the right, you have a power button and fingerprint scanner volume control combo, along with one USB Type-C port that also acts as a power in. Also, only having one port means you have to carry adapters. Huawei sells one called the Mate Dock that costs $89. With the dock, you gain an RJ45 port, two USB 3.0 ports, a single USB Type-C port, an HDMI out, and a VGA port. The dock comes with a leather carrying case for easy portability. On the left, you have an audio jack and microphone, while the top houses the power button. And finally, the bottom has connectors that allow you to attach a keyboard. The model I'm using is the second most expensive one. It comes with an Intel Core M5 processor. It has a 12-inch IPS touch display with a resolution of 2160 by 1440. There's 8 gigabytes of RAM and a 256 gigabyte SSD drive. Now, that SSD has good read speeds averaging 500 megabytes, but the write speeds were actually pretty low at 260. The write speeds are very slow compared to other drives. This model retails for $1,000, but you can also get it with an M3 processor and 4 gigabytes of RAM for $700. The display has to be my favorite thing about the MateBook. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's QHD and has fantastic color reproduction. Images pop, colors are vibrant, and text looks sharp. There's minimal color shifting, but I did find the display to lack brightness. The brightness setting needs to stay at 100% for the best viewing experience. Also, because it's using a 3:2 aspect ratio, it's not the best ratio for watching movies. Most people will prefer 16:9. But being 3:2 does have its advantages, especially for productivity. You end up with more space in portrait mode. This ratio is closer to resembling an 8.5:11 piece of paper. Touch functionality worked perfectly. Pitch to zoom, scrolling, and multi-gestures were all accurate. Also, the MateBook supports a Bluetooth stylus with 2048 levels of pressure sensitivity. I never received one, so I can't comment on its performance. However, you can pick one up for $59. Sitting above the beautiful display is a 5-megapixel front-facing camera. It's actually not that bad and one of the better ones I've used this year. It does tend to saturate the reds, but the picture is clear, the image is sharp, and most people who use this for video conferencing will be happy. So here's the thing, the MateBook doesn't come with a keyboard folio, so you'll need to cough up another $130 US. The folio itself looks nice, it's not leather but plastic, and has backlighting. It's also water resistant and won't break from spilling your favorite beverage. But the typing experience is poor. The keys are too close to each other, which causes you to consistently make typos. Also, forget about using this on your lap. The kickstand is too wobbly to hold up the tablet for too long. The MateBook is meant for sitting on a desk only. To be honest, I feel all 2-in-1s should have a kickstand. Keyboard folios are never that great to begin with. Below the keyboard is the trackpad, and I have to say it works extremely well. It's smooth, accurate, and spacious. Now, the MateBook has 2 speakers that reside on top of the tablet, and they sound really good. They don't get as loud as a big laptop with front-facing speakers, but for a 2-in-1, they sure pack a punch. The highs are nice and clean, the mids are clear, and there's a tiny bit of bass. If you're listening to music or watching a movie, you'll be happy with the sound that comes out of them. The MateBook may not be packing a more powerful Core i5 processor like the Surface Pro, but the M series does a good job when it comes to productivity tasks and multimedia. I was able to keep open 10 to 12 Chrome tabs and play QHD video without any hiccups. Light photo editing runs fine, and any work inside of Microsoft Office or Google Docs is not a problem. At the end of the day, this is a productivity machine first, so don't expect to play any newer games on it. Now, one thing I was surprised by is that the back of the MateBook gets a little warm. There's no fans, it's silent, but combine no fans with a thin design, it's bound to get a little hot. It's not nearly as bad as certain gaming laptops. The highest temperature was 100 degrees, but I'm mentioning this in case you use your tablet on your lap a lot, to keep in mind that it may feel a little warm. And finally, the battery life. This is one area the MateBook fell behind the competition. With light use that consisted of writing scripts, watching a few YouTube videos, and browsing the web, along with keeping TweetDeck open, I was averaging 4 hours of use before plugging into charge. This is pretty bad compared to other comparable tablets. If battery life is your main concern, then there are better options out there for the money. Alright, so here are my closing thoughts, and let's start off with what I liked. The design is phenomenal. It's sleek, thin, and portable. The QHD screen offers vivid colors and good color reproduction. The Core M5 offers enough performance to provide a fluid experience when it comes to productivity tasks. And finally, the external sound is loud, clear, and crisp. But the janky keyboard folio offers a poor typing experience and is frustrating to use on your lap. The battery life is quite poor compared to the competition, and the back of the tablet gets warm. So here's the bottom line. The Huawei MateBook is an impressive first attempt at creating a very beautiful Windows device. I still wouldn't recommend it over a Surface Pro or even Samsung's Tab Pro S only because of the poor battery life and awkward keyboard folio. But one thing's for sure, Huawei definitely has what it takes to make amazing products, and I can only imagine that the next MateBook will be a complete hit. So that wraps up my review of the Huawei MateBook. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Is this something that you would buy? Or if you have one already, let me know what you like or dislike about it. Thank you everybody for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And as always, I will see you in the next video.